Charleston White got jumped at one of his shows, and I smiled when I saw it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And some folks feel some type of way about that. And I'm going to address that. Before I do, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest. Let me say that again. This is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, put all your people on it. Okay. Y'all know who Charleston White is. Social media sensation, YouTube sensation, shock jock. That's what he is. Con artist. That's what he is. Bullshit artist. That's what he is. And I'm going to call him what he is. Motherfuckers don't have no problem when I call Donald Trump what he is. I'm talking to folks in my community now. I'm sure there's an old gang of Trump supporters that can't stand my ass. Fuck them. I don't want their support. I'm talking to my community now. Motherfuckers ain't got no problem when I call Donald Trump what he is. When I call Brett Favre what he is. When I call Tate Reeves what he is. When I call Deion Sanders what he is. But when I say something about Charleston White, it's a motherfucking problem. I'm telling you right now. If you support Charleston White over me, I don't want your goddamn support. You can unsubscribe. You can block my shit. Tell YouTube not to recommend my shit to you. Unfollow me. Matter of fact, block me across all social media. I don't want that. That's how I know I'm not going to be Jay-Z type rich. I'm not. I'm not going to be Michael Jordan type of rich. I'm not. Because I'm not one of those Republicans buy shoes too type of motherfuckers. I'm not one of those Hov said, skill soul, truth be told, I'll probably be lyrically Talib Kweli, basically saying he had to dumb down his lyrics to get rich. I am not that. I'm not going to change my core beliefs for nobody. Especially a motherfucker like Charleston White. So yeah, when he got his ass jumped on stage, fucking run, I was happy. They didn't get his ass good enough. I see he came out and did a video showing they didn't really hurt him. Let that motherfucker had hit me like he hit that dude. He wouldn't be posting no video saying I ain't hurt his goddamn man. You understand? Oh, first, why you tearing down another black man? God damn it, I'm gonna tear down whoever is harming my motherfucking community. God ain't put me on this earth to just tell y'all what the fuck you want to hear. Or just to be liked. If you look throughout history, most of God's people who really were about the people were polarizing people. They had some who loved them, but they had some who hated them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Why? Because I love myself. I love myself. You understand? And I love the real ones out there. I love y'all. So yeah, I ride for y'all. And if a motherfucker got a problem with me riding for you, I don't want your support. Because this man, Charleston White, sat up here in that 3-hour interview where he slammed Deion Sanders. And a lot of the shit he said about Deion Sanders was spot on. Now, calling for Shador to get hurt, that is asinine. That's fucking asinine. That's crazy. But a lot of what he said was right. But it's a script. And what I mean by that is he's acting. He does not give a fuck. He literally told you in that same interview, if you watch the damn interview, watch the interview, not just the goddamn clip that was taken out and put out. Watch the interview, you will hear this son bitch say, I don't give a fuck about black people. He said he doesn't use his platform to help black people. He only uses his platform to make money. You understand? Now he's talking about he just being a community organizer and all that kind of shit and doing shit on the front line. But goddamn it, you can do both. You can do both. That would be like me saying, I don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm just gonna come up here and do some buffoonery. But it's okay that I do that buffoonery because I taught school for 10 years. And for the last 5 years, I've been on the road around the state helping students and teachers around the whole state. So on the front line, yeah, I go in there and do my thing. But here I'm just going to be a buffoon and coon and say shock shit and say, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. I'm going to be real when I'm out there in the streets helping children. I'm going to be real when I come on here. I got some of my former students that watch this show. And they know they seeing the same coach. It's just here I'm able to be unfiltered. I didn't stand in front of my classroom and be like this, except in moments. There was some moments where I had to go there. Okay. But here I'm unfiltered. Here I get to speak in my first language, which is hood English. There, I had to speak normally in my second language, standard English, mixed with some of the hood English to get them to understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be one or the other. People. If this man cares so much about the children and about the community, he wouldn't be up here talking about you got to beat on a goddamn woman. That man said that he would beat Brittany Renner if that was his woman. And I'm just supposed to be cool with that. I'm supposed to be like, he cool because he don't like Prime. And I'm mad at Prime. So I'm supposed to be saying to just overlook that. What the fuck? No. Tell me this. How we gonna be mad at Donald Trump, Brett Favre, and Tate Reeves, but think he cool? When he told y'all he a Trump supporter. Hell, if he lived in Mississippi, he'll probably be voting for Tate Reeves. He would have been at the goddamn celebratory party with former interim President Anthony. Come on, man. Fuck we talking about, man? Fuck we talking about? I will be happy when this motherfucker is no longer in the spotlight. When the shock jock shit that he's doing wears off. I'll be happy. Elated. Shit. And now somebody talking about, well, they jumped him, but George Zimmerman still walking around. If somebody got his ass, I smile too. But also, you saw Charleston White hit that motherfucker, okay? And then somebody ran up there and touched him up. If George Zimmerman went to any goddamn hood in America and hit one of us, he gonna get his ass whooped, if not killed. That's one. Two, it's unfortunate that many of us are scared to do something to one of them. And we'll go ahead and touch up ourselves before we touch up one of them. You can't say that about me. I call out black people on this platform. I call out white people, okay? I put my hands on black folks before, and the last adult that I got to fighting with was a white police officer. So I'm stamped in what I'm saying. You can't apply that to me. You know what I'm saying? As I was telling the young king on Twitter, and I do hope to retain this young king. And this is why the young king once told me, He said, the way OGC Lee is your OG, you my OG. And that resonated with me. That resonated with me. Because I know I'm an OG to my youngins who I taught and coached. But now in this game, I'm like, it's kids out here, these young, not kids, it's young men and maybe young women out here that I don't know who watch this shit and maybe get some game from me. So that was impactful. So I do want to retain that young king. So what I said to the young king, I think the young king said something like, "No, this ain't it," or something about me saying what I said about Charleston White. And I countered with Charleston White's words, verbatim. I don't give a fuck about black people. And the young king told me basically he don't judge him by his words, judge him by his actions. And what I try to get the young king to understand is that it does not have to be exclusive. Your words and your deeds can match up, and you can go out here and make an impact. See, words are so impactful, y'all. I made the mistake one time. Y'all pardon me. This is an emotion every time I think about it. I was frustrated about my pay. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment at the time. And I was already acknowledged as the best teacher. Okay. And I was probably making $32,000. And I was on the phone with my brother Ray Caesar Leo. I was sitting at my computer. And I said to my brother, that I hope God makes my son good with numbers. Because being good with words ain't got me no motherfucking well. I regret those words to this day. Because, of course, my son has autism, and while he can say things, he's not conversational. He can't converse yet. And I'm not saying that I was prophetic or that my words altered the will of God or anything like that. I ain't saying that whatsoever. I still hate that I said that. Because I wish I could hear his words. I wish he could talk to me. Because words are powerful. Words move us. Most of what you remember about Dr. King is his words. I Have a Dream speech. You hear most of what you remember about Malcolm X are his words. Ballad of the Bullet speech. Him calling out these racists to their motherfucking faces. How courageous he was and what he would say to these motherfuckers' faces. Muhammad Ali, we remember him for his hands. Also, his words captivated us. I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. Them Viet Cong ain't called me nigga. You my opponent when I want justice. You my opponent when I want equality. If I'm gonna fight you right here. Those are words. And his deeds match that shit. Like the realest motherfuckers that we respect stand on business in both word and deed. So I don't give a fuck about this son bitch who uses his words to just make himself rich. To enrich himself. That's what he did. That's what he did. And then he said he was a frustrated community activist until he started acting the fool. Well, goddamn it, I was and still am a frustrated educator. But I'm still not finna go out here and say some of the shameful shit that he said, joke about rape. I ain't doing that. I ain't finna go out here and say I don't give a fuck about my own kind. I ain't doing that. So I'm different. And I hope y'all real ones out there understand that and appreciate that. Because I love y'all, man. And I don't like to see a motherfucker mislead the people I love. I don't like that. I don't like to see a motherfucker use the people I love. I don't like that. I don't like that. So you ain't gotta go nowhere else for nobody to stand up for you and shit like that. I ain't got his money yet. I ain't got his fame yet. I'm working on it. Shit, I'm going viral right now as we speak on Instagram. Again, I'm going just like the 1, 2, 3, probably 4th or 5th time this year I done went viral. I'm working on it. So you got somebody who's working on it, who's in your corner, that you ain't got to turn to no motherfucker like this who really don't care about you to be on your side. You got somebody that's fighting for you. And there's other real ones like me who fighting for you. But if you don't want that, just leave me the fuck alone. Because I'm going to keep saying, fuck Charleston White. Put it on some.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel, because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.